Well, today we're out on Price Road. Sorry if I sound sick, it's because I am. If you're on Price Road in Florence, Arizona, then you're headed to Box Canyon. And that's exactly what I plan to do. Just letting the machine warm up for a minute while I'm packing up some stuff. We're gonna get dusty today. This place is very busy, only about 45 minutes from Phoenix. Not only that, there's a rental UTV, ATV place at the entrance to the road, so you get a lot of people that probably shouldn't be in side-by-sides out here running around. So it's really just been a couple of years since I've been up here. It's just very crowded. It's a cool place though. It's the price you pay for public land access. So we'll deal with it today, and we'll see what kind of cool things we can find. We're entering into Box Canyon. This may be the coolest part right here. It gets really narrow. Bringing a semi through here, that's for sure. I often like to stop at this little bend in the canyon here. It's quite spectacular scenery here. There's a reason it's popular. You do occasionally see bighorn sheep in this area. I've seen ringtail cats before. Oh, here comes somebody. Here's the most common sighting. That would be other side by side. This place is pretty busy, I tell you. If you don't like people and other machines, this is not the place for you. I could go out Florence, Kelvin, or somewhere and ride for probably years and run into less people than you'll see here in the matter of an hour. It's super busy. So the trails are always blown out. So if you like that, you like hanging out with other people, this is your place. If you don't, maybe head somewhere else. Certainly it's not a lack of scenery though. Let's head on. Well, now we're well out of Box Canyon itself. Probably, I don't know, a mile further north. And the good news is once you get out of Box Canyon, the traffic tends to thin out pretty well. But one thing, I don't think about it a whole lot, but you forget from the tourist aspect of it, this area has a lot of mining history. And this is kind of an example of that. Where this old mine here has been repurposed, well, I don't know if it's repurposed, but they're pumping water out of it for livestock. If I can get up here without killing myself. Can't really see back in there too well, but it goes, and there's water. It's pretty cool. And there are a couple of shafts like this all the way up Box Canyon. A lot of mines up here. Unfortunately, we now have to deal with some bad road, it looks like. Let's go check it out. So we took the bad road, and turns out it was indeed bad. If the wind picks up, of course. I'm up on a ridge now, so the wind's blowing a little bit. Hopefully you can hear me. I've been up that trail before. I knew what was up there. I just hadn't been in a while, so I wouldn't check it out. Now we've turned west up a little side trail that goes to an area called the 5 Points. That's the intersection of Ajax Mine Road and I think it's called Freeman Road or something, and Cottonwood Canyon Road. They all come together right there. I'm probably not going to go that way. I'm going to go up, take kind of a side trail up to Ajax Mine Road and check out that area up there. But let's stop in this little saddle here to take a break. I've always stopped here. I've watched the sunset many times right here. Out in the middle of the desert. Having a good day on the trail like usual. So at this point we've turned off on Ajax Mine Road, which is right over there. You can't see it for the brush, but it's right over there, trust me. And there's this little side road here that's kind of hard to see. For a long time I drove past it and I could see the road up here in the hills, but I couldn't figure out how to get to it. And I finally figured it out. So it's kind of hidden. It's kind of hard to get to. Well, it's not hard to get to, but it's hard to find. So I suspect not a whole lot of people have seen this little relic hanging out literally, 100, 200 yards from Ajax Mine Road. Check that out. The stories it could probably tell. Another relic here in the desert. There's also a couple of shafts up this trail. I'll show you those as well. So up here you get a better view of Ajax Mine Road over there. And this is that vertical shaft I was referring to. And it's, let's see if I can get you out there to look down at it. I don't know if I can or not. Yeah, can't reach. Can't reach. But this used to be open. I mean, there was a sign there that said "Don't fall in, idiot." But now it's fenced off. They're doing that to a lot of these. I mean, they're hazards. So it's to be expected. There's a couple more on the side of the hill up here we'll go take a look at. So a little further up the side of the hill, looking at those prospects. Over there you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's people parked over there. That's the area we came down where I told you. The 5 Points, you go over to the 5 Points that way. But I was looking at this little prospect and looking down in here and I saw something. I don't know if it comes out real well on the camera, but there's a turtle shell in there. Looks like one of the turtles fell in there and unfortunately couldn't get out. But there's some more shafts on down the side of the hill here. We'll take a look at it. So a little further down the hill, and here there's other shafts I talked about. You can see this one's been fenced off. And I think the first time I came up here, all these were open, but that's not the case now. And if you go around here, it's about to wash away. But you can see there's only been my tracks and cattle tracks up to here, so not a whole lot of people, I suspect, get to come see this because they just don't know it's here. But this is the other side of those prospects, and you can see it's kind of a vertical shaft there with some, I forget what they call that, those timbers are in there to shore it up. A little bit of tin work. Yeah, all this used to be open, but it's quite dangerous, as you saw from Mr. Turtle up there. So the Forest Service actively comes around and closes it off. There's a group of people we saw earlier. So yeah, a lot of mining history here. In fact, one of those mountains over there is called Mineral Mountain. So that tells you what you need to know. But we're going to head up towards Ajax Mine. So this is one of the reasons I came up here today. If we had continued up the bad road, we would have eventually come through here, and you can see this is rock buggy or built Jeep territory. I'm not gonna do that in my side by side for sure. But I was looking at this area on Google Earth a couple of days ago, and I noticed this right here. This 2-track up the side of the mountain. Somebody has made that since the last time. It's been 3 years since I was down here, and this was not here then. So that kind of piqued my interest. I want to see where this goes. It looks like it goes back down into the canyon below this waterfall, in which case I probably will be turning around and coming back out because I can't do the rest of that. But it's one of the reasons I came. There's some old corral works right here. We'll check that out in a minute. So we're back at the beginning of this 2-track, probably an hour and a half later. It did go over into the next wash, and it does go south. But what I noticed is it also went, I guess, southwest, I guess. It went that way. What I noticed is it also goes to the east up here. With this old tank replaced, and they got the, there used to be a windmill, as you can see. It's now been replaced, as many of them have been, by solar power. I think this technically is Cottonwood Canyon or Cottonwood Wash, but we're one ridge over from Ajax Mine Road and Ajax, the hardcore Jeep trail. I have seen a pretty good amount of water coming down this wash before. It was up here a few years ago after monsoon, and it can really flow down through here. Okay, so we've made it up out of the canyon. Those rock pinnacles you see there, down at the base of those is the canyon we were in. I think earlier I said that was Cottonwood Canyon. That's not correct, after I thought about it. Cottonwood Canyon is actually what Ajax Mine runs up through, Ajax Mine Road, which is right there. And I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me zoom in a little bit. You can see the little levels there, and you just saw something gleam. That's Ajax Mine Mill. And if I get a chance, I'll show you that on the way back through, but there's almost always some group parked there having lunch or something. So I don't know if I could show you that. And we're up here. This little viewpoint area, those rock pinnacles are pretty cool. I don't know if there's a fire or something going on. It's really hazy, and you can see the dust trails there. That's just from off-road vehicles. That's pretty normal for this area, but even all the way around, it's pretty hazy. So I need to go check the news, see if there's a fire going on somewhere. But we're up on top of a hill. This little viewpoint is pretty cool. Always like to stop here. That is Picket Post Mountain in Superior, Arizona. And right now it's obscuring Superior itself. It's directly on the other side, so that will give you an idea of where we are geographically. And You can see the superstitions back behind it there. The tall peak there. I don't know if that's Weaver's Needle or not, but it's definitely over in that direction. So that's where we are. My original plan was to head down into Superior. I don't know if I'm actually going to go that far today or not, but I am going to take you on over here and maybe show you this little, there's a miner shack just on the other side of this ridge here. So let's head over there. Well, here we are at the old miner shack. That's a picket post right there, the center of the screen. Let's see, we're a little bit closer to it. And we're still obscured a bit from Superior back there, but fortunately some bad news. Like I said, I came over here to show you this old shack, but it ain't here no more. So just to make you aware, this trail that we're on right here that you see, that's Ajax Mine trail until it crosses the saddle up here in the mountain, then it becomes Telegraph Canyon Road. Well, if you watch the news or if you're native to Arizona, you probably saw about the Telegraph Canyon fire a couple of years ago that burned a large area, and unfortunately it looks like it got our miner shack too. It's a whole fridge that was in there. Yeah, this was, I think I've said a few times, it's been a few years since I've been over here. And just this sucks. It's a cool place to stop. A piece of history. I don't know, it was a miner shack. It could have been a cattle rancher line shack. But it had been around a while, and it's kind of a bummer to see that it's gone now. Look how hot that got. Which, I mean, it's a fire. What? Fortunately, I do have some pictures somewhere of this before it got burned. I may even have a video, an older video that I shot. If I find those, maybe I'll stick them in here, but yeah, sucks. The old miner shack is no more. All that's left is debris. A victim of the Telegraph Canyon fire. Get a little dinner going here. Italian again. This thing puts out some heat. Add some herbs, Michael would say. Never too much pepper. God, it's actually burning this stuff. Jeez. This thing's nuts. A little Parmesan. Surface to set the pot on when it's done here. I'll melt my plastic tailgate. So I think that's good enough. You can hear it boiling. So, hot meal in a random canyon in Arizona. You get the we get out the sugar-free dew, and we're all ready for a nice hot meal. Well, I'm heading on down Telegraph Canyon Road, even though I said it wasn't. We're coming up on the backside of picket post here. Certainly some spectacular scenery down here. We're on down canyon a ways. That's picket post right there. Well, this what looks like an alcove or a cave in the side there. So I brought you down here. This is probably as far as I'm going to go. I'm going to turn around and head back. I'm not quite to Superior yet, but I think this is what I'm going to do. You know, this old corral gate here. And there's a gate right there. I'm not going to cross it. There's a water tank, pretty large catchment pond right over there. And that's what it goes to. But I mainly brought you here to show you these rocks, which you can't see right there. Let me walk back over. Let's see if you can get a glimpse of them. Just some odd looking rock formations. You may have to go all the way around here before you can actually get a look at them. But they're kind of interesting. And kill myself. So yeah, pretty cool. You have to give me a second amount of breath. Like I said, I've got a cold. That's why I sound crappy. We're getting close to golden hour. Picket post. And I think I'm going to turn around and start making my way back. Here's a little bit more of that fence and these rocks. I get a kick out of these fences made out of natural material. These ranchers and miners are they're so resourceful. They repurpose anything if it works for them. There's some pretty cool fence work here. And some unusual looking rock formations. And some beautiful Arizona scenery. You know, it's so quiet here, I decided to have a seat for a minute and just listen to the nothing. I can't hear anything except maybe crickets. So it's pretty nice. I think I could live right here. So here we are back at the top of the mountain. And again, picket post there to the left. It's probably the best view we've gotten, or that I've given you as far as Superior. It's still obscured a little bit, but the sun is setting. We're heading back across down into Ajax Mine Road, Cottonwood Canyon, and eventually back down through Box Canyon. It's probably going to be dark by that point, but if I come across anything interesting, I'll make sure and show it to you. Check out that sunset, that little bit peeking through, if you can see that. I don't know if that's coming out on camera, that's pretty cool. Well, we made it to Ajax Mine Mill, and there's nobody here, so I'll show you what I can before we run out of daylight. Pretty sure I hear bees. So you can see there's a few levels. Looks like an ore bin up there maybe. Concrete works. Something was bolted down right here, pretty significant. A big pad down there. See if I can get up here. You know what, actually I think I'll just drive up here. So in case you're wondering, Ajax Mine is right over there. It's one vertical shaft as far as I know. Now we're up to the next level. It's starting to deteriorate pretty good. And of course nobody escapes the taggers. This is kind of a destination for off-roaders in this area. I mean, as I've mentioned several times through the video, this Box Canyon, Cottonwood Canyon area is very, very popular. So there are often some pretty big crowds gathered here just to eat lunch. So if you're going to catch it clean like I have today, you're going to have to be either late in the day or very, very early in the morning. Let me get you up top here and show you that. Alright, so now we're up top at the bend. Peer off in there, hopefully there's no dead bodies. And that looks body free. A couple of stickers. So yeah, Ajax Mine Mill, a hot spot, quote unquote, I guess you'd call it. Destination for off-roaders in the area. Up at the top end of Cottonwood Canyon. So if you hear the name Ajax Mine, this is what we're talking about. So I'm probably going to run out of daylight to show you anything else, but you know, Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving 2024. Got out on a little trail ride. Wanted to bring you with me. So, thanks for coming along.